Hello and welcome to day 11 of the Christmas Craft Countdown, where I'm sharing a new Cricut craft every day for 20 days. One of my top requested designs was of a layered angel, so that is what I've created for today. This gorgeous file has loads of different layers to make really dimensional artwork. The SVG file is free to download for the next 24 hours. Let's find out how to get it and how to make our angel. If you haven't already registered your free ticket for the Christmas Craft Countdown, go to craftwithsarah.com/CCC to do so. Once registered, check for an email from me with subject line Christmas Craft Countdown ticket information or any of the other emails from me that you've been sent throughout this countdown. Can't find them? Check your junk or spam box to see if they've gone there by mistake. These emails contain the link to view the countdown projects and download today's files. Scroll down the page to find today's project. Click the button to start the files automatically downloading to your computer or mobile device. Each download is only available for free for 24 hours after it goes live. If you have missed some, check out the Instant Access Bundle at craftwithsarah.com/CCC bundle, which gives immediate and ongoing access to all of the files from the Christmas Craft Countdown. All downloads come in zip folders. You need to unzip them before you can upload the files into Cricut Design Space. Once you've downloaded and unzipped the folder, open up Cricut Design Space and start a new project. Go into Upload over on the left and then Upload Image. You can then either click Browse to find a file on your computer or drag and drop it in. The file to use is the one which starts SVG in the file name. Drag that in and it should look like this with all of the layers one on top of the other. If yours looks different and you see the layers next to each other instead, that means you've accidentally uploaded the wrong file. So if that's the case, press cancel down on the bottom, try again and make sure you choose the one which starts SVG. When yours looks like this, go ahead and press upload and then it will appear in your recent upload. So you can click on it to get the green border and then press add to canvas. Here is our lovely, lovely angel, and you can see all of the layers down here on the right-hand side of the screen. Now this needs 2 shades of blue. You've got the blue for the dress and then a slightly lighter one which goes inside to fill in some of the pattern. For her wings, I've used a white and a grey, but I'm actually going to cut the grey layer from silver card to give it a little bit of sparkle. If you want to change the colour of her dress to make her a little bit more Christmassy, you can do that by looking down the layers panel and finding one of the dress layers and then going into your colours and choosing what colour you want. Maybe a red colour, and then go to colour sync once you've changed one colour. Find all of the matching ones, so this was the darker blue, and then click and drag them onto that new colour. And then I'll do the same. So maybe the light blue could be changed into a green, a nice Christmas green. And there's only one other one of them. And then the white, what should we do for the white? I mean, maybe that could stay as white. She looks very Christmassy now. Or maybe the same yellow as her hair, and you could cut that from gold perhaps, so she's extra shiny. Maybe I'd leave the snowflakes as white, as that kind of makes sense. And let's just go for that very bottom layer. Actually, I don't think I can change that one because that's on the wings. Nope, that's a different one. Okay, let's use Colour Sync and have a look. So you can't actually see because it's white on a white background. That's not very helpful, Design Space. I think it's that one. There we go. Changing that layer also changes the halo colour, so just bear that in mind. That does actually look quite nice in the gold. So that's just a really quick way on changing the colours if you want to, but I'm going to do mine in the original blue. So let's undo all of those changes to bring her back to how she looked when we first loaded her in. To resize the angel, click on it. Make sure the padlock icon is closed. If it's open, then click it to close it. And then you can change the width or the height. Press enter, and the other dimension changes in proportion. I think I'm going to cut her at a nice 10 inches tall, which should fit nicely on my cardstock. When you're happy with how it's all looking, press make it And now it will go to the screen where it separates everything out onto the different colours. You can change the paper size in here. Oh, I've actually made her too big for A4 paper there. That wasn't very smart. It's because the maximum width you can cut is 7.75 on A4 paper. So let's change that one. And now she will fit. There we go. So you can see all of the different sheets of white that I'll need. And you can try moving things around to get them to fit more than one on a sheet. But I think that's actually too big for me to rotate, so I will need to use 4 sheets. You need to change the paper size for every single colour. And then when you're happy with how it's all looking, go ahead and press continue to connect to your Cricut machine. Get everything cut out from cardstock, and then I'll show you how to stick our beautiful angel together. Here are all of my layers of the angel cut out, and I've laid them one on top of the other to check that I'm happy with all of the colours. We're going to be sticking this together with a combination of glue and 3D foam squares. The glue I'm using is called Collall. I really like it because it doesn't bend or wrinkle the cardstock like other glues can do, and I put it into these needle tip applicator bottles with really thin nozzles on them, which is going to make it really easy to get the glue into all of these mandala details. The foam pads I'm using are for dot and dab. I'll need to cut them smaller because they're quite big, but any foam squares, foam pads, foam tape, any of that will work just fine. As with all my layered designs, we're going to work from the bottom upwards. So let's move off some of these top layers. Try and keep similar bits together, seeing as I've already done the effort of putting them into the correct order. So I just move all these apart in sections and put them around my table. I'm now left with just the bottom 2 layers, which is the white for the bottom of the wings there, and then the silver on top. This is mirror card, so I'm afraid you can see my camera in that a little bit, but it'll be covered up soon, so hopefully it won't be annoying for too long. This is going to be a glue layer, so I'll turn it upside down and get my glue. You can already see from this just how useful these needle tip bottles are, even though I just completely missed, but that was definitely user error. Yeah, they're really helpful for getting the glue down these tiny little feathery bits of the wings. And I like making sure there's quite a lot of glue on here, especially if you are using something like mirror card or glitter card or craft board for this layer to add the sparkle to the wings, because it's thick, so you need a little bit more glue than you might need for, say, thinner cardstock. Then I can stick this onto that bottom. It's a bit hard to see the white layer on my white background, but I assure you it's there. And then I've not lined that up very well, but luckily, because it's glue, I can just move it about. I don't want to push down too hard because I don't want the glue to smush out the sides of the wings and be visible in the white. So I'm just being really, really gentle with that. The next layer is the halo layer, and it also makes up the bottom of the dress. This is going to be a foam square layer, so let's move that over to one side. Oh, that's better. It's not reflecting so much now. And add the foam to the back. I've cut some of my foam squares in half so that I don't need to use up as many, and it just makes it a little bit easier when we get to some of the smaller layers too, to fit these into the gaps. You want to add a good amount of your foam on the back, not just around the edges like I'm doing now, but also some pieces in the middle sections, because if you leave any large sections without any foam, it means that the card will dome downwards in those areas and it just won't look as level or as pretty, not quite as professional looking. So I always recommend adding some in the middle bits. And I also need some in these arms. I quite like to put a couple of pieces in that halo just to make sure it's not going to fall down and touch the silver. I'm going to cut my foam a couple of pieces really, really thin. And I did that really badly. Let's see if these will go in. You need to make sure if you do this and try and get your thin foam in, that none of it goes over the edge. Otherwise you'll see it, and we don't want to be able to see the foam. The nice thing about it is quite bendy. So as I'm going around this halo, I'm sort of trying to bend it around that shape, just to make sure it's not sticking out over the side. And then one more. Oops, sticking it to my fingers. There. A little bit of rubbish. Okay, so now I've added all of that foam on. I can peel the tops off to reveal the stickiness underneath. I've already done it for those other two bits in the halo. So if you're sat there like, oh no, you missed a bit. I didn't. Right, let's bring my shiny, shiny angel back in and then line this up. I'm going to line up the dress along the bottom and then gently drop it down. Got that stuck a bit. So I can see if it's all lined up, which it kind of isn't that well lined up along the head. I'm going to try that again. Because I haven't actually stuck this yet, I just gently dropped it down. I can pick it up to move it around a little bit. It's a bit of a fiddly shape with that halo. There we go, that's better. Then push down to seal all of the foam. The next two layers are these ones. For the dress, we've got the solid colour, which is filling in that little gap to go first. And these will be glue layers. Line that up, using the hands as my guide to see exactly where it needs to go, and also the edges of the hair. The next layer is this one with the little snowflake detail along the bottom of the dress, and this is another glue layer. I'm going to try and get my glue down these bottom bits, because if there was nothing along this bottom line, it would be quite fragile and prone to tearing. Just a little bit in there will help it get a better stick and just be a bit more secure on there. Put that one on. Beautiful. Then we're moving up one level of the dress to this one, and we've got our white snowflake layer, which will be a foam layer. Use the top of the angel to line this layer up, not the bottom, because it doesn't go all the way to the bottom of that other layer. So you don't want to get it in the wrong place. Again, I'm gently putting it into place and then push down to seal. Next is the detail layer to have those little snowflake cutouts, and this one's a glue layer. The inside bits, the little triangle pieces, or more like diamond pieces, inside the snowflake are very fragile and delicate, so be careful with them. And again, line it up with the top, because it doesn't quite go all the way to the bottom of the white, so you get that little scalloped edge along the bottom of the dress. Onto the last bit of the dress now, which is one last layer. Just move these hands out the way. And this one's 3 layers again, starting with the white, which, as I'm sure you've guessed, is a foam square layer. Again, we're lining that up with the hair. There we go. This is getting so much depth in it. It's beautiful. The next one is the more sort of bluey grey colour of this section of the dress, which is a glue layer. And this one is easy to glue compared to what's about to go on top of it. One, and then two is this one, which is even narrower in places, in most places, to be fair. As long as you go around the edge and a couple of little bits in the middle, you'll be all right. This is another one where I don't want the glue to smush out the edges. So just gentle tapping it down. There we go. For the hands, you can either foam them or glue them. Just having a little think. I'm going to glue them, I believe. Glue. Yeah, I'm going to glue them only because there's already so many layers in this. I'm worried about it getting a bit too thick. I think I've just done that on the wrong side. Oh no, I didn't. Phew. Oh, that would have been very annoying. My sleeve's coming down, so I've got one sleeve up and one down. Right, hand two. Bit of glue. And stick that one on there. And then the face. We've got a few different pieces. We've got the neck, the back of the hair, the face, which is also those bits, and then the top of the hair. For her neck, the bottom one, this one will be glued on. And the same for the hair. The big bit of hair. For the face with the cutouts, we need to turn it upside down to add these two pieces in there. And just get your glue and go around the eyes and the mouth. And the eyes are going to have this little black rectangle stuck to the back of them to fill them in. And then the mouth has the little orange. I've got it from orange. It probably should have been red, really, for her lips, but never mind. Just make sure that is all covering. The nose is still empty, but that's okay. And then I will add some foam to the back of here. Make sure you don't dislodge the bits you've just glued. You might want to wait for the glue to dry before sticking it on. That would be the sensible thing to do. She goes on there. And then last layer, the top piece of hair, which we'll glue. Like that. Oh, isn't she beautiful? I love how those little details on the face really come to life with the colour behind them. If I tilt this, see it's really thick, so many layers, and the mirror card on the wings is very pretty. And then she's all ready for me to use either in a shadow box or just up in my craft room for Christmas, or I could even prop her up on the top of my Christmas tree. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make a layered papercraft angel with a Cricut machine. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel for loads more Cricut crafts. I hope to see you again tomorrow for day 12 of the Christmas Craft Countdown. Thank you for watching. Bye!